So hey everyone, what's happening guys? Welcome to Fun and Fun Suspense, and today I've come with a new story series that is Twin Detectives written by Savani Pal. There down into the town of Bakura lived a boy named Ronnie. You must be wondering where this Bakura is. It is located in the lap of West Bengal in India. There is a particular center of Bakura which is of great interest, the Bakura Stadium. Just opposite to the stadium was the two-storied house of Ronnie and his small family. Ronnie lived with his mother, brother, and father. He and his brother were twins. It was very hard to say which one was which. His father was a primary school teacher but was the heir of the most precious boat. You must be thinking how a boat can be precious. Well, it's not any ordinary boat. It's a small boat carved from an elephant tusk and customized with precious stones like diamond, ruby, emerald, topaz, etc. It dates back to the reign of the 12 years of Purulia. The elegant stones and the historical value made the boat very precious. Ronnie's mother was a simple housewife. Not many people knew about the boat. The boat actually belonged to Ronnie's great grandfather, who had a very close relation to one of the Buyas. The boat was gifted to Ronnie's great grandfather by him. Then it passed from generation to generation. Ronnie's great grandfather gave it to Ronnie's grandfather, who gave it to Ronnie's father. Now, you don't ask me how I know all about this. It is more than I can do. Their neighbor, Nilesh Babu and Mr. Roy, and a few other teachers who were Ronnie's father's friends knew about this book. Nilesh Babu was rather a chubby and mysterious person. He was not at home most of the days. He seemed to be a very busy man. One night at 1 o'clock, he just showed up on his terrace, pacing up and down and talking to himself, it seemed. Despite all of this, he was a peace-loving and kind man, and also a good friend of Ronnie's. He never seemed to be interested with that boat. Now comes Mr. Roy. He was a successful businessman and a childhood friend of Ronnie's father. He was a secretary of the steel plant. He knew about the boat from his childhood. They both studied in a nearby school. Both of them were very studious and intelligent. Ronnie and Sammy both were tall and had brilliant blue eyes and a good taste of football. Ronnie's family was a harmless and happy little family, but their happiness did not last long. On 23rd December, Ronnie and Sammy was in their room quarreling over a piece of homework when they heard a loud cry. No doubt it was from their father's room. Ronnie rushed out of the room with his brother in tow. The door of their father's room was slightly ajar. Inside the room, the scene was horrific. Ronnie's father was lying on the ground with eyes staring right at the sky. There was no injury marks on his father's body except for the legs where there were two deep wounds. It seemed as if he was bitten by a snake. Ronnie had a great quality that he never lost his mind under pressure. Both the brothers picked up his father's body and rushed to the hospital with their mother. Ronnie's father's heart was still beating, and it seemed as if the heartbeat was slowing down. But unfortunately, when they reached the hospital, it was too late. Ronnie's father's eyes had closed and he had breathed his last. It seemed as if the great mountain of sorrow had fallen upon the little family. They had been stabbed by nothing but sorrow. Tears rolled down the eyes of the brothers. They had lost something which could never be gained again. The sound of cries in pain of the brothers and their mother was so pathetic that it could even make a stone-hearted man cry. Over the next few days, the blow had fallen and Ronnie's father's state had almost become unmindful. The post-mortem report had come and it said that Ronnie's father was poisoned by cobra venom. The cops also ran a quick scan near Ronnie's house and also his father's room. They found a cobra snake near the bushes beside their house. The cops confirmed that the death was due to that same cobra. The next day, Ronnie went strolling towards his father's tomb to check out the boat. It was exactly where it was supposed to be. But one thing could not hide from Ronnie's keen eyes. That boat did not have the same elegant and shining look. The stones also did not sparkle as it was supposed to. Then it struck Ronnie. The boat had been replaced. The news was then and there promptly reported to the chief inspector of Bankura police station, Mr. Guhu. Mr. Guhu was shocked to see the duplicate boat. Although Mr. Guhu nothing knew about the boat, he said, if the duplicate is so beautiful, then how much beautiful the original would be. Ronnie was left wondering about the boat. The more he thought, the more it became complicated. His father did not die, he was murdered. The only obstruction between the killer and the boat was Ronnie's father, and the obstruction had to be removed.